Calling you a radical. Let's get a recap of this incredible second half that Weber State football had. Started off slow, finished strong. Yeah, it's a credit to their strength and conditioning all year. Beasts. So I'm going to give my soup can award. And by the way, I've learned along my life, as my whole incredible historic path. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. I don't give a fuck if we get 34 views. It's not, in fact, it's actually better. You think about the sports writing world and how they feed the sheep. Feed the sheep. I mean, it's actually pitiful. There's no fucking sports writers here. Until now, Kevin Blanch had to, it's about who's watching. There's a reason certain individuals rise above, the contemporary sheep, because these guys are going to spoon feed this some kind of postured narrative that they've been groomed into by that box. So, first off, Rashid Shaheed today, as I call it, the Rashid Shaheed rule. Kickoff at 11 o'clock. So the first two games, no one popped one on the new kickoff rule. Hopefully he'll get one. Speaking of Lightning Rashid, Abraham Williams, leading tackler, and he's not a linebacker. He's a DB on Idaho for the first two games, leading tackler. He almost popped one, and his old schoolmate at West High School, the running back, the bird, Clarence Butler, that dude don't get even enough freaking. He's phenomenal. He almost popped one last night, and then he popped off in the first half. It was really two plays because they were mediocre at best in the first half, but Butler ripped one off for 60-something yards. So his per carry average right now is 30 yards. Speaking of that, Bronson Barron, I wish he would have never left. He, at Southern Utah, they upset UTEP yesterday, and Bronson Barron threw one pass, got in one play. Well, one pass is all he threw. 40-yard touchdown. He's all that. To think that he's not a starting quarterback in NCAA, it blows my fucking mind. So, who do I give the award to that young offensive line? That young offensive line. And remember, their best offensive lineman by was out. Including that tight end from Sugar City. They blocked so fucking good. And then, of course, Bankston is a whole nother beast. They're stacking the box on him like you wouldn't believe, and he's just crashing. He had a 75-yard run around the edge last night. And this DB was fast. He couldn't catch him. He had the angle on him. And, most football players can really burst for 20, 30 yards, maybe 40, but they're out of gas. Not him. He looked like he was running the 400 in the Olympics to the house. So he's all that. Now, Richie, who is so unorthodox, I've never really ever seen a quarterback like this. I call him Billy Kilmer. At times he'll miss passes. Other times he'll throw laser strikes. He threw a laser strike to Jacob Sharp. Jacob Sharp looks incredible. I'm sitting up there watching him. They can't guard him. He's the best wide receiver here since Rashid Shaheed. He's all that. So the offensive line blew him up, and the second half, that defense was phenomenal. That defense made the adjustment, as I called Coach Duff, Jay Hill mini-me. That's who he coached just like him. And Jay Hill was the master of all masters in second half adjustment. And by the way, Jay Hill's performance, he had the heart attack. He had clogged arteries. He didn't really have a heart attack. His arteries were clogged, and the pressure was building, and he felt, and he was smart enough to go to the doctor. They put 2 stents in him. What a phenomenal defense he's got at BYU. Offense, not so good. Defense and Collins with that one-handed tiptoe. He's ours. Jack Kelly, he's ours. Weber State. maybe I'm one of these people that bowled, but what a freaking interception by Collins. Oh my, well, we know what he is. He's a phenomenal player here for 3 years. And so the offensive line gets my soup can award. And incredible, they had 318 yards rushing. And they were stacking the box on. And people are going to do this all season long. At your own peril. They're going to, because Bankston is all that. And these coaches all know each other in the Big Sky. Big Sky, that's why it's so competitive. I mean, they're always ready. And you can't be one-dimensional in this league or it ain't going to happen. And so, Richie, I talked to him after the game, and I'm like, dude, I mean, you think you're a linebacker out there the way you run. Yeah, I know. He had 10 right. I've learned one thing. You'd never know by looking at him or having a conversation. That is one tough fucker. That fucking dude is so some of the fucking hits he took last night don't even fucking faze him. I'm like, fuck, you think you're a fullback? You think, yeah. I mean, he don't slide. I'm like, oh, God. He ain't Cam Rising, but Cam Rising's hurt. Richie ain't, so. But at other times, you'll see him miss a pass, and you're like, get so frustrated. But other times, he'll throw a deep laser. He can throw the long ball. And so Munoz to Sharp, oh, hell yeah. And they got about 6 wide receivers, including the fastest guy probably in the state of Utah. He's here, the freshman. No Kajar? Fucking that dude fucking run. So they have gods and gods and gods. How about Godly? He looked godly, the freshman, but they got so much talent here. Major Gibbons didn't play. I think maybe he's got some issues because he's that good, but these backs. So the offensive line, this young offensive line, Coach Myers, that was the big question mark going into this season. And then I used back, he played, the linebacker. That'll help them out a lot. And so Rashid today going to get the first. I call it the Rashid Shaheed rule. And I want people to understand this. Just YouTube, just fire, just the fucking will. The contemporary sports, fuck, they're pitiful. By the way, Dylan Jones was here last night. I talked to Dylan, and he had that beautiful, 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 good-looking freaking ex-point guard on the women's team here with him. I was happy to see that. And, I talked to him. I'm like, all that fucking money gone to your fucking head yet? I told him just like that. Oh, no. I says, be careful, buddy. Don't let it, because we know what happened. I really felt like Lillard's fame and his money, I don't think all that money, that contract, that really did him any good. But I don't know. We'll see. He'll be back this year. He got divorced. So I'm sure he struggled mentally last year, but he'll be there. He's a beast. And so it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And it's not about, and I've talked to my grandsons because they're phenomenal athletes. They're friends with Rashid. Sports is all about one thing. Well, life is all about one thing. And you're up against so much because everybody tries to beat it out of you. Sport is all about one thing and one thing only. Self-confidence. Self-confidence. You have coaches along the way to try to beat it out of you. You have contemporary sides to try to beat at you. The haters are everywhere. Every fucking where. But you got to stand tough. Just hang in there, man. And just keep your self-confidence. And self-confidence is not to be confused with arrogance. Arrogance is the opposite of self-confidence. Self-confidence takes a lot of hard work, a lot of struggle, a lot of path. And this team has self-confidence. You talk to these young guys, they're very self-confident freaking people. But carry them away. They struggled in the first half. They looked like shit in the first half for the most part. But they just went, fuck it. That's their strength and conditioning and their self-confidence. This team's the healthiest, strongest physical. And by the way, the two of the best defensive linemen in the history of this school, the best team in the 2017, 18, 19, 20, the Rashid Shaheed era. George and crew was here last night. I talked to them. That's with Admiral Rodriguez, Jonah Williams, but George and the that's the best team in the history of this school. So we have a sports writer now who I've been prepping, and I talk to him after every game, before the game. Gabe, who's really at the signpost. He knows his shit, boy. Really a brilliant young guy. And he comes and helps me out. He's doing some work on the best 60s team, 79. I says, hey, 60s, and he brought up Lee White. And yeah, great player, but the greatest player in the history of the NFL from Weber State is Bob Pollard. The second greatest in the history is Darryl Pollard. Bob Pollard's in the Ring of Honor for the Saints. Now, will that get passed by Rashid Shaheed? He stays out. This is important. Rashid Shaheed is playing for the league minimum on a practice squad contract. And just remember, all you young athletes, remember every one of you, who is the dumbest human beings on the face of the planet? Well, the third dumbest human beings on the face of the planet, unarguably, are NBA scouts. They're pathetically stupid. Here they are sitting on the front row at every game of the Jazz. They're pathetically stupid. They let Dylan Jones go by. It wasn't an NBA scout that freaking got on Dylan Jones. It was the general manager, Sam, who I've talked to, who got Dylan Jones. He says, we were going to take him top 10. We were taking wherever we had it. If I think the scouts, woof, they're pitiful. Who's the second dumbest people on the face of the planet? And they're pathetically fucking stupid. You start going through the NFL draft and see where these marquee players won the draft. Oh, it's NFL scouts. Nobody wanted Rashid Shaheed. Nobody. And Jay Hill. All these guys in the NFL from off this team, one scholarship about Jay Hill. One. One in the country, including Rashid Shaheed. Rashid was not drafted. All this is, no, it wasn't the injury. Even when he got healthy and could have made any practice, they didn't want him. Do you realize he made the Saints by that much? By that much. He was the very last guy on the practice squad. He was just on it. And it isn't like he was the greatest player at Weber State history on the field, passing Trevon Smith. I mean, I called it out. Anybody with half a fucking brain cell could see it. Yet, the best hands in the NFL, it's Rashid Shaheed. The fastest in the NFL, it's Rashid Shaheed. Nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted him. Nobody. He's playing on the practice squad contract right now. Which blows my mind, that fucked up practice squad contract, which is not a 2-year deal. It's really a 4-year deal. So, will he get the first touchdown on the new kickoff rule? Whoa. Why does Rashid Shaheed got such great hands? I was fighting cancer, I was on death's doorstep when he played here. Doing the play-by-play for KWCR, 88.1 beat. Me and Manny Gonzalez. Manny didn't know sports, so I did it. Never once in all those years did I ever drop the fucking can. So, my soup can award for this team goes to the offensive line. Coach Myers, he's the shit. And Andre Dyson's DBs played fantastic. Fucking young. And I wasn't sold on Rock last year. I really wasn't. I thought everybody was putting him up, but I'm sold on him this year. He's all that. Again, strength and speed matters. This team has. Now, we'll see. They go to Texas, then to Louisiana. It's a whole new schedule for them. They'll play fine. They got lots of good young wide receivers, a whole bunch of them. They're excellent. They got so much fucking talent on this team, and so they just went like this. Started really slow, and just, that's what strength does. That's a hallmark of the old Jay Hill teams, right? So, impressive. Second half, really impressive. Fourth quarter, fucking really impressive. So, Clarence Butler, the bird, whoa. Okay. You look at some of these players in that conference, and you'd never believe their mark yet. Richie, fuck. Richie at times looks, oh God, I mean, he'll frustrate the shit out of you. But then he'll just be, that is one tough fucker. Well, that's the hallmark of this team, is strength. This is a tough-ass fucking team, physically and mentally. And so that young offensive line, they get my soup can award. Go Rashid. To the house, Lightning. Why do I call him Lightning? And I call Abraham Williams Thunder. Because at the University of Utah, by the way, you can pay your $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9,000 a game to go watch that. Had to be the most boring second half in the history of football down there. Oh, fuck. They always are. Fuck, those Whittingham teams are so fucking boring to watch. I mean, not here, the Big Sky. This is 1,000 times more exciting. And guess how much a ticket is here? Fuck, you sit up there with me for fucking $10. And go pay your $600 down there. And they're fucking real yawners. Real yawners. So we stay at it. These marquee fucking athletes. And, you know, somebody's got to fucking have half a fucking brain. You can go read the fucking local fucking newspapers around here, which make you throw up in Utah. The sports writer talk about a lost fucking art in this fucking state. They used to be so good over. And so, as you know, we dedicated the season to the incredible, the great broadcaster, Steve Clark. He was killed. By the way, they still got Baggett doing the PA. Oh, fuck, it's pitiful. I mean, really, really pitiful. And Arky and Graybill, I guess, are doing it for 103.1. Oh, fuck, they're so fucking old. I mean, oh, God. Well, there's some new young guys in town taking over. So, the signposts, they'll get it done. Stay in tuning.